Welcome back, everyone. Today we are looking at something really interesting. We have some material here about the invisible rules we set for how people should treat us.
Yeah, it's a fascinating topic
Yeah.
because we spend so much time thinking about our relationships with, our boss, our family, our friends.
Right, all the external stuff.
Exactly. But this material argues that. Well, none of that works if your relationship with yourself isn't strong. So today is really about looking inside first.
That's the mission. We looked at all this information and tried to find the simplest, most useful ideas for you. Things you can actually do.
Simple, actionable steps. Like, how do you stop that negative voice in your head?
Yeah.
Or how do you say no without feeling really, really bad about it?
And this isn't just theory, it connects to real life. I mean, if you always feel tired or you feel like people don't appreciate you, the answer might be in the rules you've accidentally set for yourself.
That's the big idea.
Okay, so let's start there. This was the most surprising thing for me. The way you treat yourself. That becomes the standard for how everyone else treats you. You don't say it out loud, but people, they just feel it. They
Yeah.
see how you value your time, your energy, and they just follow your lead.
It's like you have an internal compass, a compass that shows direction.
Oh, I like that. An internal compass.
Yeah. If your own compass is clear and points north, points to your own value, then other people see that. They know how to approach you with respect.
But if your compass is spinning around, totally lost.
Then people get confused. They don't know your value, so they might not treat you with the respect you deserve. The first lesson is, if you don't value yourself, you are quietly teaching others that it's okay not to value you either.
Wow, that's a powerful way to put it. And that brings us right to the first big trap that the material talks about.
The trap of being the yes person, always being available.
Yes, the trap of availability. The examples were so relatable. It starts so small, doesn't it?
Mhm.
You know, a friend asks for a small favor and you say yes. Then another. And you tell yourself, I'm just a nice person. I'm being helpful.
Right. And being helpful is a wonderful thing. People see you as kind, reliable,
Mm.
a good friend.
But then it slowly changes. It goes from being a choice to being a job.
It becomes a role. You are now the helpful one, and everyone expects you to play that role all the time. It gets really exhausting.
And that's when you start asking, how did I get here? Why am I always the one doing everything?
The material had a really good story for this. It was about a woman who was always the one to organize parties for her group of friends.
Okay.
For years, she planned every birthday, every get-together, and then one year, she was just too busy. She had a big project at work. She was tired, and she just couldn't do it.
And what happened?
A friend called her and said, "Hey, so when are you planning the party? We're all waiting." There was no thank you for all the years, just an expectation.
Wow. So she had trained them to expect it from her.
Exactly. She taught them that rule without even realizing it. And that moment, it showed her that something needed to change.
So the lesson isn't stop being kind. It's that your kindness needs limits
Yeah.
to keep it going. It needs boundaries.
Right. And we have to think about boundaries in a new way. A lot of people hear the word boundary and they think of a big brick wall.
Yeah, something that shuts people out. Cold and unfriendly.
But the material suggested a different picture. Think of boundaries not as a wall, but as um, a garden fence.
A garden fence. Okay, tell me more.
Well, a garden fence has a gate, right? It protects your beautiful garden, your time, your energy, but it's not a prison. You are in control of the gate.
So I can open it and let people in.
Exactly. You decide who comes in, how long they stay, and what they can do in your garden. And, most importantly, you can close the gate when you need to rest, when you need to water your own plants.
I love that. It feels so much more friendly. But let's be real. When you first build that fence, some people are not going to like it.
That is the uncomfortable truth. The people who benefited from you having no fence, the ones who like walking all over your flowers, they might complain.
They might say things like, oh, you've changed, or I guess I can't count on you anymore.
Yes, but here's the secret. Their discomfort is not your problem. It's actually a sign that your new fence is working. It shows you that the boundary was necessary.
That's a huge mental shift. Their reaction proves you did the right thing.
Exactly. And this all connects to a really deep idea. Your worth, your value as a person is not up for discussion.
You don't have to earn it.
No. You have value just because you are a person. On your good days and on your bad days.
Hmm.
When you succeed and when you fail. Your value is always there.
The problem is we're taught to connect our value to things outside of us, like
Yeah.
our job, how much money we make, how we look,
Or the most dangerous one, validation.
validation, needing other people to tell you that you're good enough.
Right. And getting a compliment feels nice for a moment.
Yeah.
But if you need it all the time, like you need air to breathe, it makes you very fragile, unsteady.
Fragile. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
you can't control what other people think or say.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like you're letting a complete stranger drive your car.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You post a picture online and you feel good. Then one person leaves a mean comment and suddenly you've given them the keys. They are steering your emotions and they can crash your whole day.
You've given them the power. So the goal is to take the keys back, to know your own worth from the inside.
Mm-hmm. And the sources gave two really simple sentences to remember for this. The first one is, my worth is not up for discussion.
Just, period. It's a fact.
It's a fact. And the second one is, for all the perfectionists out there,
Yes.
I am enough right now, even while I am improving.
So you can still want to grow and get better.
Of course. But your value isn't waiting for you in the future. It's here, right now.
Yeah.
You are already enough.
That changes everything. It's not about performing for an audience. It's about being honest with yourself.
So once we have that idea, that foundation, the next step is about, well, the daily work, the small things you do to keep that foundation strong.
And that all starts with self-awareness.
Yeah.
Just note.
Absolutely. You
Ah.
can't protect your energy if you don't know where it's going. Self-awareness is about noticing your feelings, what you need, and your emotional buttons.
Buttons, you mean triggers?
Yeah, triggers. A button is just something happens. Maybe someone says a certain thing or uses a certain tone of voice, and boom, you have a big reaction. Anger, sadness, insecurity.
And it happens automatically. You don't even think about it.
Right. The first step is just to notice, oh, when that person says that, I feel this. No judgment, just noticing the pattern.
The material gave a really simple exercise for this. They called it an energy audit.
Yes. Just asking yourself two simple questions. First, what drains my energy?
And drain doesn't mean a huge disaster. It's often slow, like an app on your phone that's running in the background, slowly using up your battery all day.
Exactly. And the sources gave some great examples. One was watching too much negative news online, just scrolling and scrolling through sad stories.
That's a big one. Another one was what they called an energy vampire.
An energy vampire. I love that term. It's that person who, well, they only call you when they have a problem.
Yes. They talk and talk about their drama, and you listen and help, but they never once ask, so how are you?
And after the call, you just feel empty. They've taken your energy and given nothing back.
So the second question in the audit is the opposite. What gives me energy?
Right. What fills your battery back up? Maybe it's a walk outside. Maybe it's listening to music. Maybe it's talking to a specific friend who makes you laugh.
The key here is not to judge yourself. It's not, I'm so weak for feeling tired. It's just, okay, that conversation drains me. I need to protect my energy.
There was a great analogy for this. It's like tuning a radio.
Okay.
When your mind is full of stress and worry, it's like a radio filled with static. You can't hear the music clearly. Everything is confusing.
But when you do the energy audit, you find what's causing the static.
Exactly. You start to turn the dial.
Yeah.
You find a clear station, and suddenly you can think clearly again. You can make better decisions.
And when you start getting that clarity, you might notice a very common habit that works against all of this.
The sorry habit.
Yes, apologizing for everything, for things that don't need an apology.
People say sorry for asking a question. Sorry, can I just say something? Or sorry for being tired.
It's this tiny little word, but it sends a huge message. You're basically making yourself smaller.
You are. You're acting like you don't have a right to take up space. The hidden message is, I'm sorry for being here.
But you have a right to be here. The right people, the healthy relationships in your life, They will never ask you to be small or to disappear.
That's so important. And here's what often happens next. When you decide to stop saying sorry so much, when you decide to stand up a little straighter,
Uh-oh.
another voice can get really loud.
The inner critic.
The bully inside your own head.
Clip.
The voice that says, you're not good enough, you're going to fail, you always mess things up.
And we believe that voice. We think it's telling us the truth.
So how do you fight it? The material had a really simple trick. It's so simple, but so powerful. Talk to yourself like you would talk to a good friend.
Right. If your friend made a mistake, you would never say, you're a total idiot, you're useless.
Never. You'd say, hey, it's okay, everyone makes mistakes. What did you learn? You'd be kind.
Yeah.
So why aren't we that kind to ourselves?
It's a great question, and there's another tool, a question you can ask that critic. Is this a fact, or is this just a feeling?
Because feelings, especially fear, they're not always based on reality. The sources compared fear to a funny mirror, like at a carnival.
Oh yeah, the ones that make you look super tall or wide.
Exactly. Fear is a funny mirror. It takes a small problem and makes it look huge and distorted and scary.
But a fact is like a normal mirror. It just shows you what's really there. A mistake is just a mistake. It's not the end of the world.
A mistake is information. It's feedback. The voice in your head should change from, I'm so stupid, to, okay, noted. That didn't work. I'll try something different next time.
That's a game changer. Using mistakes to learn, not to punish yourself.
And when you can do that, when you manage your energy and your inner voice, it becomes much easier to protect your peace from outside things.
Which brings us to the biggest challenge for many kind people. Guilt.
Yes. The guilt that comes with saying no. This is the #1 problem for people pleasers.
A people pleaser is someone who is always trying to make everyone else happy, right? Even if it makes them unhappy.
That's it. And when you finally say no to something, your brain just screams at you.
Guilt is a very loud voice. It says, you are so selfish, you're a bad friend, you're letting them down.
But we have to remember, saying no is not a cruel act. Sometimes saying no is an act of self-care. You're protecting your energy so that you don't become tired and angry.
It actually helps your relationships in the long run.
It does. And to help with the guilt, the material gave us some very simple no sentences. The key is they have to be clear, kind, and short.
Very short. Like what?
Thank you for asking, but I can't today. Or, my schedule's already full. Or just, I need to rest tonight.
No big explanation.
No. This is so important. We have to talk about the over-explaining trap.
Right. That's when you say no, but then you give a 10-minute speech explaining all the reasons why.
Yes. You feel like you have to justify your no. It's like you're writing a long letter called, please, please, still like me.
And when you over-explain, you're actually giving the other person a chance to argue with you.
Exactly. They can say, oh, but you could just move that other thing. A simple, firm, I'm not available, leaves no room for debate. It's a closed door.
And when you learn how to say that simple no, something amazing happens. You get back space.
Yes, space in your calendar, space in your mind, and you need that space for joy to come into your life.
Joy needs room to breathe.
It really does. If your life is too crowded with things you have to do, there's no room for things you want to do. Not even small, happy things.
We often treat happiness like it's a luxury, like dessert. You can only have it after you've finished all your vegetables.
But happiness, or just feeling content, it's not a luxury. It's part of being healthy. It's like mental food. We need it.
And we're not talking about big, expensive vacations. We're talking about small joys.
The smallest joys. A warm cup of tea in the morning, listening to your favorite song, just feeling the sun on your face for a minute. These little moments, they build you up.
But so many of us put off being happy. We tell ourselves, I'll be happy when.
Oh, the when trap. I'll be happy when I get a better job, when I lose 10 pounds, when my house is perfectly clean.
The problem is that when never really comes, because as soon as you reach one goal, you just make a new, harder one. The finish line keeps moving.
Perfection is a myth. It's a moving target you can never hit.
And this gets so much worse because of social media, the comparison trap.
It's so easy to do. You're sitting there having a normal, maybe kind of boring day, and you look at your phone.
And you see someone else's perfect pictures, their perfect vacation, their perfect family, their perfect meal.
And you're comparing your real messy life to their highlight reel. Just the best moments they choose to show. It's not a fair comparison.
So what's the solution? The material says to stop using their life as your map. Use your own values instead.
Exactly. Ask yourself, what is truly important to me? Is it creativity? Is it helping people? Is it peace and quiet?
And then measure your day by that. Did I do something today that connects with my values? That's a successful day.
When you start thinking like that, protecting your energy doesn't feel selfish anymore. It feels necessary because your energy is not endless.
You can't pour from an empty cup. Even the kindest people burn out.
They do, and they feel guilty about it. They think they're being lazy, but they're not lazy. They're just empty.
So it's important to manage your environment, the people you spend time with, the information you consume.
It all affects you, and your body often tells you first.
How so?
You know that feeling when you're around a certain person? Your shoulders get tight, you feel stressed, you have to think carefully about every word you say.
You feel like you have to be small.
Yes, that's a sign. Your body is telling you, this situation is not good for my energy.
And sometimes that means you have to accept a difficult truth. Sometimes you outgrow people.
It's sad, but it happens. And it doesn't have to be a big, dramatic fight.
No, sometimes it's just a quiet stepping back. You create a little more distance. You choose peace over drama.
You give yourself room to breathe.
Yeah.
And that's a deep form of self-respect.
Okay, so once you've done all this hard work, setting your standards, talking to yourself more kindly, protecting your peace, there's one last piece of the puzzle.
Yes, the final part is about what happens when things go wrong. Because they will.
Yeah.
Life is not perfect. It's about resilience. It's about the bounce back.
The bounce back. I like that. It's not about never falling down. It's about how quickly you get back up.
Right. And people who have strong self-respect, they bounce back faster. Not because they don't feel pain. They do.
But they don't get stuck in the second part. They don't punish themselves for weeks with shame.
No. They skip that long, painful speech of, I'm a failure, I'm worthless. Instead, they can say, wow, that was really hard. I made a mistake. But I'm still here, and I'll get through this.
So how do you build that bounce back muscle? The sources talked about building quiet confidence.
And that quiet confidence doesn't come from big, huge wins. It comes from celebrating very, very small wins.
Things that might seem silly to other people, like I got out of bed today when I felt really sad.
I drank a glass of water. I answered one important email. Tiny things.
The analogy they used was so good. It's like filling a big empty jar with sand.
Okay.
Each small win is one single grain of sand. By itself, it's almost nothing. It's tiny.
But you keep adding them. One grain, then another, then another.
And over time, that jar gets full. It becomes heavy and strong and steady. That's your quiet confidence.
So when a big storm comes, a really bad day, you can hold on to that heavy jar and know, I've done hard things before. I have proof I can survive this.
It's your personal history of strength built from tiny moments.
It is. And there's one final ingredient that you absolutely need to be able to bounce back. And it's maybe the hardest one of all.
Self-forgiveness.
Self-forgiveness. So many people are carrying around old guilt, mistakes they made years ago.
The sources compared it to dragging a heavy anchor behind you everywhere you go.
What a perfect image. You get used to the weight, but it slows you down. It makes every single step harder.
So we need to be clear about what forgiveness is. It doesn't mean you're saying the mistake was okay. It doesn't mean it didn't hurt anyone.
No. It just means accepting that you are human. And humans make mistakes. Forgiveness is saying, I did the best I could with what I knew at the time. I learned from it. And now I'm letting go of the pain.
You keep the lesson.
But you drop the anchor. You let go of the shame. That's what gives you the freedom to move forward, to have a fresh start.
Wow. We've covered so much. From understanding our internal compass and building our garden fence boundaries, all the way to letting go of that heavy anchor of past mistakes.
And we learned some really useful words and ideas. Thinking about energy vampires or asking if something is a fact or just a funny mirror, these are tools you can use every day.
The message is so clear, really. When you start to treat yourself with more respect, when you protect your time and energy, the world around you starts to change.
People learn how to treat you by watching you. You teach them your value.
So, we want to leave you with a small challenge this week. Based on that idea of small wins, don't try to change everything all at once.
Just aim for one small upgrade.
Maybe your upgrade is saying no just one time without a long explanation. Or maybe it's noticing when your inner critic starts talking and asking it, is that a fact or just a feeling?
One tiny thing, one grain of sand to put in your jar.
What is the one small way you can be kinder to yourself this week? Think about it.
And we have a question for you. What is the one word or lesson you learned today?
Please write it in the comments below. We love reading your comments, and when you share what you've learned, it helps other people on their journey too.
Thank you so much for joining us and exploring these ideas today. It's powerful stuff.
It really is. You've been listening to our depth discussion. Until next time, take care and be respectful of your own standards.